Okay, so you can start whenever you want. We don't have any video or anything to that.
Hi. Hi, nice to see everyone today. I'm hiding underneath my baseball cap today. I had a skin treatment earlier in the week and my face is ridiculously red and so I'm back farther from the screen, but still here. So hi, I'm Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Thanks for joining me today. We have a class today that has some boxing moves in it. The only equipment you will need is a set of hand weights. If you don't have hand weights today, maybe you have 2 water bottles or soup cans or something else handy, or just move along with range of motion. You don't need weights in hand to get something out of these exercises today. So, and make sure you have some water handy as well. So we will get started. Hopefully a few more will be joining us here shortly. But for now, you can just find a nice comfortable seat. We will close our eyes if you are happy doing that and just tune into our breathing. So if you'd like to close your eyes and focus on the crown of your head getting closer to the ceiling as you take a breath in, and then a nice even release of breath on the exhale. So nice even breath in, crown of your head gets a little close to the ceiling, breath out to release. A few more like that. Good. And then next we'll turn our focus to the rise and fall of our chest. You can take your hand to your chest if you like that feedback. A breath in, expanding through your rib cage, feeling the expansive breath, and a breath out to release, squeezing out all the breath. So breath in, rib cage expands, breath out to release. Again. And we'll do one more like that. And then we'll turn our focus to breathing from our belly. So breath in, expands your belly like a balloon. Breath out, squeezes out all the air, belly button to backbone. So a big breath in, like you can fill your belly with air, and a breath out to squeeze out every last drop, starting to tune into our core muscles. Big breath in, and a nice even breath out. We'll do 2 more like that. And 1. Good. From there, you can just have hands on your lap for a moment as we start to move through our neck. Ear towards one shoulder, back to center, ear towards the other, nice and slow. If you want to pause on one side, if it feels a little extra stiff today, go ahead, or just nice even movements back and forth. Last one each way like that. And then we'll draw chin to chest, back to center and up towards the ceiling. Just changing your gaze to look down, center and up. We'll do that one 2 more times through. And last one here. Great. From there, we will start to pull shoulders up by your ears where we don't want them for our exercises today, and then down our back where we do. So maybe I'll time this with a breath in and a breath out. Good. So breath in brings your shoulders up, breath out brings your shoulder blades tracking down your back. Maybe you feel that extra pull of muscle at the base of your shoulder blades, just setting those shoulders into position. We'll want those shoulders down, especially as we're doing some of our boxing moves today, so that we don't build tension through our neck muscles. Good, last one here. All right, let's keep moving through that same area with some wide W moves. So arms are out to the side, shoulders are already low, and now we're squeezing elbows towards your sides. Just getting a little bit of movement again through the shoulder blades, connecting with the muscles that sit at the base of your shoulder blade. Good. Last 2. And last one here. Awesome. We're going back to those same arms again. If your shoulders are comfortable coming up and over, go ahead and do that. If you prefer something a little more cross body at eye level, that's okay too. So whatever your shoulders feel best with today. And then you might slow it down. Actually, stay on one side for a moment. So give me 3 on one side where maybe you're going to hold and stabilize either on the arm of your chair or on the base of your chair with a little side flex. 3 on one side. And then we'll do the same on the other. Good. All right, back to center. Let's get push and pull going. So let's go push and pull back in towards you, or press away, pull back in. We're going to change this one a few different ways, adding in a little bit of either hinging or rotation as well. So pick what feels good for you at the moment. If you are wanting to do some hinging right now, you'll just extend that movement with a little bit of more forward facing work. Still keeping that long extended spine though. Good, so we'll do 2 more like that. And 1. And then we're going to go cross body. So the press and the pull now comes cross body with an optional rotation. So trunk rotation to get that extra little bit of reach. Good. So we'll do 2 more here. And 1. All right, just a few more for arm warm up here. We're gonna go pressing for the ceiling. Maybe you do the same press and pull where you're pressing up and then grabbing actively onto an imaginary something that you're pulling back down. So we'll do 2 more like this. And then we're gonna add a little rotation in here as well. So we'll start actually without the rotation, just reaching cross body upward. And then maybe you'll start to rotate as well. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2. And last one here. All right. I have 1 more in this sequence and we will press back behind you and then pull in. So as if you're pushing something away behind and then grabbing onto it and pulling it back towards your body. Press and pull. Okay, we'll do a few more like that and then we'll add 1 more variation here too. So we'll do 2 more here. And 1. And then we might add some variation with rotation with this one as well. So you'll rotate as you push away and then come back to center as you pull back in. So you can alternate sides, or if it's easier for you to focus on one side at a time, maybe do 3 or 4 on one side and then switch to the other side. Just a small rotation, trying to keep hips more or less facing forward so the rotation is through the spine. Good. We'll do 2 more here. And last one. All right. Good. Hopefully you're warm and ready for some heart rate raising activity. Grab a drink if you need it. I'm so far away from my computer today, I can't see the time. I'll keep myself on time here. All right. So we won't need any weights yet. You will see most of these same exercises come back at you again with weights in hand, but for now we're going to do without. Of course, if you feel like you're not getting enough from these exercises and you want to add a really light hand weight right away, just be very mindful of the fact that you are in control of the weight and not the other way around. So it's not you know, swinging in an arc that's bigger than what you intended it to be. All right, so get your boxing gloves on. Not really, I don't have any, but we're gonna go forward with some straight jabs to start. And again, you already know, I'm no boxer. We're just doing boxing style moves. So if you are ready to start getting that heart rate up, of course, both arms moving does elevate our heart rate somewhat to begin with. And then the bigger the moves or the faster the moves, the more we get that elevation in heart rate. So from there, if you want to start speeding it up a little bit, it can be nice and close to your body, like the thing that you're punching is, you know, maybe 1.5 feet in front of you. And thinking about core muscles here too, we did some rotations during warm-up. We're not rotating right now, but we're using our core muscles actively to, I guess, prevent that rotation, right? So actively working on core muscles here while we do our cardio. Good, so straightforward punches, just a little bit more. And then maybe you'll slow it down just a little bit. And we are going to add an option of rotation. So if you want to stay facing straight forward, that is okay. Or if you want to get that little extra reach out of the punch. So your target has moved just out of reach where you have to give a little extra pivot, but not a hinge. So we're still staying nice and upright here. You can speed this one up a little bit, but we are rotating. So just be mindful of how this feels. We're still at a straight target that's dead center. Good. Keep going here, just a little bit more. All right, slow this one down a bit. I guess we're going a little slower, right? Slow down a little bit more. And let's do a few slower ones where your target changes in its height. So you'll do one punch each where it's maybe a little bit higher and then back to mid and then a little bit lower. So you can vary, it doesn't have to be high, mid, low every time. It can just be whatever feels like a good pattern for you. Let's keep this one facing straight forward, no rotation to start. So punches that are at 3 different target points out front, where all you have to do is extend your arms to hit the target. Good, a few more here. Let's do 2 more times through. And last one. All right, so shake out your hands if you need to. If your hands are in a fist, they get kind of sweaty. From here, we're going to do that exact same pattern, a high, medium, and low target, but you're going to potentially do a little bit of, again, that extra reach. So a little bit of rotation in each of those 3 directions. Rotate to go high, medium, low. If you need to slow this one down to feel like that rotation is safe for you, do that. If you're feeling good about it and you want to speed it up a bit, go right ahead or take the rotation out altogether. Okay, a few more like this, then we'll change it up. Let's do 3 more. 2. And last one. All right, okay. So we're getting ready to do uppercuts now instead. So arms are a little bit more out to the side to get ready to go uppercut. So for now, we'll still go pretty much to a center target. And we'll stay mainly square, so not really following with that shoulder any farther than what your arm itself can reach. And then let's maybe pick up the pace. So this one might feel a little bit more like a sprint than like uppercuts, but if you want to pick up the pace and do some fast ones, go for it. Good. So this is already a bit of a crossbody move. It's kind of coming to our center point, but maybe crossing midline just slightly. We'll keep it this higher pace for just a little bit longer. And then we're going to slow it down a bit and get some crossbody ones going. So to start with, again, we won't be doing as much rotation, but whenever you feel like this is a comfortable move and you want to add in a rotation to get a little extra reach, go ahead. Looks good. Keep going a little more here. All right, let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Maybe shake it out. Sweaty palms. From here, we're going to do a little bit of a dodge. So we're using more core muscles, not so much arms, but you're going to dodge and block. So you're thinking about maybe taking your hands up each time. This one should be lots of core. So some oblique muscles, our side core muscles working as we pivot side to side. Good. I don't have another fancy add-on to this one. We'll just do this one a little bit longer and then we'll switch it up again. Maybe you really think about that kind of dodge motion, right? Where you're dipping down in the center and then coming up a little bit to block. Good. Let's do 3 and 2 and 1. All right, come back to center. Give me those crossbody punches again. So uppercut. So coming from your hip, we're going to change this one up and do 3 per side. So give me 1 last single each side, and then give me 3 on one side, 3 on the other. Great. A few more like that. Change it again. Good. We'll do this 3 more times through. 2. And last 1. Just give me some straightforward punches again. Nice and tall, straightforward punches. Maybe punch it out quick. We're going to go back to those cross bodies in just a moment. We are almost done this portion of the class. And we'll start weights in hand here shortly. A lot of the same moves. Good. So let's go back to those crossbody punches. Crossbody, slow it down a little bit. And let's go back to our 3s. So let's do 1 last each side and then go 3 on one side, 3 on the other. And maybe now you think about the target as being different heights for this one as well. So 1, 2, 3, punch high, medium, low. Maybe you add a little bit of rotation and a bit of a hinge into this one. Got a few more here. Last 2 times each side. And last one. All right, hands up to block. We'll do one more block sequence and then we are moving on. Good, so pivot, block, pivot, block. If you want to do this fast, go ahead. I don't think I'm going to become a professional boxer anytime soon based on these moves, right? Good, let's do a few more. We'll do 3 and 2 and last one here. Excellent. All right, shake out those arms, maybe give yourself a quick hug in each direction a few times, arms crossed. Hands can be wide, shaking out through your fingers as well. Good, last one each way. If you need a drink of water, go ahead and grab it. We are going to be using some weights now. So if you have some of those handy, you can pick them up as well. We are going to be doing some optional hinges and crossbody work here too. I probably should have said earlier before we did our cardio, but if you do usually use a chest strap to stabilize, and you don't already have that on, you might want to for the weighted exercise, especially if you're going for those bigger moves out front so that you can be nice and stable for those. So let's grab those weights. And we will get going. So we're going to do a few different sequences, like I said, similar to what we did in cardio, but now we're thinking more about what muscles are driving this move. And we will do them as individual movements and then together for a little bit more stability and core work here. So give me that straightforward punch, which is now not for speed, it's for chest and front shoulder, just feeling those muscles power you forward. So maybe you're not coming right to center. You might have 2 targets that are straight out in front of your hands, one side and then the other. And we want to slow down this move so our muscles have time to really benefit from this, as opposed to just using momentum to carry our arms back and forth. Good. So let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1 like this. We'll take a little rest in between so you can kind of check in and see at the beginning or near the beginning of our class today, and most of my classes that I do, we do some work on shoulder blade positioning. So if you can kind of think about for this next set, are my shoulders back and down? I want those muscles that hold my shoulder blades in place at the base to be working this whole time, because as I reach forward, I don't want my shoulder to rotate forward as well. All right. Having said that, I am going to add 1 extra piece to this, always optional. If you like that little extra bit of hinge, so a little extra forward movement, you can add that to your next set. So we're going to press forward. Maybe you'll reach forward with just a little bit of a hinge. So you're just adding that extra, even if it's a ½ an inch worth of extra reach. Still focused on shoulders away from ears, chest muscles and front shoulder muscles doing most, if not all, of the work here. Good. Let's do 3 more. 2. And last one here. All right. Set those shoulders back and down. We will change up this exercise. So it is still going to be chest and front shoulders, but a little more chest focus now as we do our, actually, no, I'm going to add one other exercise first. changed my mind. I said that we were going to use both weights together. So I am going to do that one next. This one does take more stability through the trunk. So certainly you don't need to reach to full extension here, but let's do the weights touching each other just for a little bit of a guide. And we'll push both to punch to a target out front and bring it back in. So this one is almost more core than it is shoulder now. Press out. It's our paint shaker really in slow motion. Maybe you feel like you have a little extra reach that you can do. So a tiny bit of a hinge. I want to make sure that it's your core muscles that are helping with this hinge and not your low back though. So just be careful if you start to hinge with this one. We'll do 2 more. And last one. Good. Okay. Now we're on to the next exercise. So the next one is our uppercuts. So we're going to do this as a bit of a crossbody uppercut. So instead of a center target, you're coming slightly across, maybe something in line with your opposite shoulder, but about 2 feet in front. So you're going to squeeze that weight crossbody and bring it back down again. We don't want it too high. So that's why I said kind of shoulder level. If we get any higher, we start to use more neck muscles, trapezius muscles to help us with this one. I want it to be as much chest work as we can get. Good. Let's do 4. 3, 2, and 1. All right. Good. All right. So as we come into the next one, we'll introduce a little bit of rotation. Rotation with weights is something that we have to be just very mindful as we do. So make sure that you're controlling the move and not just using momentum to guide you for this one. You can always do another set exactly the same as what we just did. So staying nice and square through the shoulders. Or if you want to follow the weight just a little bit to rotate to the side, again, we're getting that little extra reach. So if the thing that you were punching is another inch farther off to, diagonally away from you, you're getting that little bit of extra reach. Doing this one slowly so that you can really focus on chest and shoulder and rotation. Good. We'll do 3. And 2. And last one here. All right. As we bring both arms into play for this one, it won't really work too well to do crossbody. Our arms will be in the way of each other. So we are going to meet at center for this one. Weights will start down just to the side of your hips. Shoulders are set into position. The weights are going to meet at the bottom end. So kind of clink together at the bottom end of the weight to hit that front target. It can be with bent elbows, or it can be with extended arms. Extended arms brings those weights, of course, farther away from your body. So a little more trunk stability is needed for that. Good. Let's do 3 more. And 2. And last one here. All right. Good. Shake that one out. That was lots of chest and front shoulder. So I will do one more that is similar to our boxing moves, and then I'll deviate from our boxing theme for a few here. So if you want to take your hands up to our block position, you will decide whether you want these weights in hands as we do this pivot and the block. But we're just adding that little bit of extra resistance. I want to do this one, again, fairly slow, not as fast as I did during the portion where I was trying to get my heart rate up a bit. But now, because we're adding that little bit more resistance to the exercise to challenge our muscles. Maybe a little dip to center and then up really tall as you pivot and come up to that side. Let's do 3, 2, and last one here. Good. All right. So I'm going to move on and do some rear shoulder work and a little bit of mid-back work next. I didn't mention that we would maybe be doing some hinging. So if you do have a pillow and you like having something on your lap as you hinge forward with both hands busy with the weights, you can go ahead and grab that. So just a little bit of front support. And of course, hinging is always optional. So if you prefer to stay upright, or if you have a chest strap and know that you need to stay upright for these exercises, that is just fine. So shoulders are low, arms are extended down at your side, and we are getting ready for an alternating press back to start. This one, because we were just using front shoulders and chest muscles, maybe we get just a tiny little bit of a stretch, or you feel the difference in those muscles that have just worked to the front of your body as you now start to use some back body muscles, rear shoulder, to do these press backs. Okay, so this is with a long extended arm. We'll do 3, 2, and last one here. Good. All right. For the next set of these, and actually, I think I'm going to grab a drink of water before we do, or before I do another set. So if you do need some water too, go right ahead. Okay. So for our second set, we're using both arms at once as we press back, with an option of a hinge. So I will let you decide if that feels like a good option for you today. So small forward hinge. Maybe if you're hinged, those weights are going to start just forward of your shins. So just a little bit forward of your body, and then press back. Keeping your shoulders low. Sometimes as your arms press back long, our shoulders have an inclination to kind of rotate forward. I want to keep them set into position. So it's just my arms being driven by those rear shoulder muscles, pushing back. Good. We'll do 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And we are going to revisit this exercise for one last short set. So 4 times we are going to hold the weights at the back end. There is no right stopping point, whatever feels good for you, to the count of 5. So make sure that you're not holding your breath for the count of 5. We are still just nice, even breaths in and out as we do that. So hinge is an option. If you'd like to stay upright for this one, that's fine. Arms are set, extended out front, starting to press back and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back, reset. Do it again. We have 3 more. Press back and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reset. 2 more. Press and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come back to center. And last time here, press and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And return to center. Come nice and tall if you were hinged. Okay, I have one more mid-back exercise for us. So we were using rear shoulders. We'll now move on to use the muscles that sit between your shoulder blades, your rhomboids, as we do this next one. So we'll stay upright for the first set. Weights are hovering just above your knees. Elbow is pulling back kind of wide, like you are sitting in a big armchair and you're resting your arm briefly on the arm of the chair. Make this not just an arm movement though, make it your shoulder blades squeezing to center. So it should feel like you're opening through your chest as that shoulder blade squeezes to center. Good, we'll do last two like this. And last one. All right. Come back for a reset and decide if this next set where we use both weights at once, you want to stay nice and upright or if you want to hinge. So if you are hinging, the exercise is exactly the same, but the look of it changes just slightly, starting just at shin level and pulling your elbows out to the side. So a big fly move. So squeezing out to the side. This can be upright, same move, or hinged. Good, let's do 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, if you were hinged, come back up tall. We are going to do our slow 5 count the same way as we did on the last exercise. So we will do that 4 times through with the exact same exercise that we just did. So both arms pulling out to the side, either upright or hinged, shoulder blades squeezing to center, holding for 5, remembering to take nice even breaths in and out as you do so. So hinged is always optional. Ready to set those shoulders back and down, shoulder blades squeeze together as your arms come out for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it together. Do it again. Squeeze and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. 2 more times. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And last one coming up here, squeeze and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to set my weights down just briefly. I do plan on using them again, but let's just give our hands a minute to have a little rest. Check on my time. Oh, look at that. Time's flying by. All right. Well, 1 or 2 more core exercises I'm going to sneak in, and then it looks like it's almost time for a stretch. So the weights are actually optional for this next set of exercises. I'm going to do some side flexion. So if you would like to have your weights in hand, that's great. If you find that this is an exercise enough on its own without weights in hand, you don't need to pick them back up again. All right, so let's do a few where it's just a nice smooth transition side to side, where you are giving me a little bit of side flex back to center, side flex back to center. Great, hips are nice and even on your chair. So even though you're side flexing, both hip bones feel evenly set on the chair. We'll do 2 more like this. And 1. All right, come back up to center, see how that feels. If you had weights in hand, just kind of evaluate if that it also feels well for you. We only need one weight right now. So I'm going to set one just on my lap, but if you need this extra hand to stabilize, you can set the weight down and hold on to either the arm of your chair or your base of your chair as well. So this next time we're going to slow it down a bit. I think 5 is maybe a little much because we don't have much side to side movement, generally speaking, for this exercise. So we're going to do 3s. We're going to go down for 3 and up for 3. So it can be very small. We're going to go down 1, 2, and 3, and then come back up 1, 2, and 3. Stay on the same side. Go down for 3 and back up for 3. So you should feel it on the opposite side obliques. And up. And last one on this side, down for 3 and up for 3. Good. Switch it up. So if you have just one weight, transfer that to the other hand. Up nice and tall. Hips are still nice and even on your chair. Again, there's no big moves needed here. Just a slow, small flex to the side. Down for 3. And back up for 3. Good. And we'll do last one here. Down for 3 and up for 3. Awesome. One weight or both in hands, either one is fine. This is our last core exercise that I will sneak in for today. And it's a lot like the one where we were blocking and pivoting, but just a little change up here. So weights can be in hand facing each other. So they're kind of pressing into themselves, or maybe your kind of fists are pressing into themselves to get a bit of stability between the two weights. Let's go side to side here where we are not rotating. So the weights are making a small arc around your torso at about belly button level. Good. So this is trunk work, core work, tiny bit of arm work. We're going to change up the speed of this, which means we need to make it a smaller move. So come about halfway in that arc around your body, and then maybe start to speed it up. You may not need to do that in order to feel the benefits of this exercise. So especially if you have weights in hand. Good. Nice even breaths in and out. Just a little bit more. Maybe you speed it up even more and make the exercise even smaller. Last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. We are done with the weights for today. Right. My hands got sweaty on that workout. All right, so we did lots of chest and front shoulder work today. We'll make sure to stretch those guys out. And of course, our neck gets tight when we do some of those exercises as well. Let's go for a diagonal press back of both hands. Thinking about puffing up through your chest with a breath in and releasing with a breath out. And again. We'll do one more like that before we reset. So bring your hands to center, back to the exact same position, diagonally pressing back. Maybe this time your thumbs are rotated to face in towards you, changing it a little more front shoulder and in through the bicep. If you're comfortable just hanging out here with your hands pressing back, maybe you'll look down towards your lap as well. And you might even just shake your head back and forth just a little bit. Getting a bit of release through your rear neck muscles. Good, and then you can release your hands and bring your gaze back to center. All right, we're going to do the same diagonal, but this time upwards instead. So diagonally up towards the ceiling. And release. We'll do a few with movement and then we'll hang out there for a moment. Doesn't have to be with extended arms. It can be with bent elbows as well, whatever feels good. The next time we're going to hang out there just briefly, so arms can come up. Maybe you're focused on every breath in, bringing your chest forward just a little bit and release. Maybe take 3 breaths in and out here. And then bring it down. Good. For the next set, instead of having our arms extended, you might take a variation of that. So you can certainly have your arms extended, or you can take your hands back behind your head, just gentle pressure on the back of your head as you open up through your chest and front shoulders, taking some nice even breaths in and out, and maybe looking slightly towards the ceiling. Good. Release your arms down. All right, let's take ourselves into a big hug. So elbows are low, shoulders are low. From here, you can think about your shoulder blades just relaxing away from each other, away from the center point of our spine. Maybe you will do that actively by pulling your elbows forward just slightly, still staying nice and tall. Okay, let's unwind ourselves from that one and just do the same stretch again with the other arm on top. It always feels a little bit different. Maybe you'll check in again with your shoulder blades and let them pull away from each other off to the sides just slightly with elbows forward. And then this time you might do just an active side to side, ear towards shoulder, back to center, ear towards the other shoulder. We'll come back to this stretch in just a moment where we hold it for a little bit longer. Good, last one each way. Okay, yourself from that stretch. For the next one, pick a hand, either set it on your hip or slid with the back of your hand into your back pocket. The other hand can just be on your lap to stabilize. Elbow pulled back on the stretching side, so the side that is currently in your back pocket. And then maybe your fist is pressing actively into your hip, just getting that little bit more stretch. From here, we're going to drop our ear away from that stretching side. So we're going to look or drop the ear up to the opposite side. Still thinking of a breath that really expands through your chest and then releases. So opening up through those chest muscles, and then maybe changing your gaze to look down towards your hip. Good, and then ease your way back to center, unwind that arm, and maybe give me a few slow shoulder circles on this side. We'll do the same on the other side. So take your hand and either set it on your hip or slid into your back pocket. Elbow pulls back, maybe an active press of your hand into your hip as we do this one, getting a little bit more stretch through your chest. And then ear drops away from that stretch towards your opposite shoulder. Thinking of that expansion through your chest on every breath in. Maybe expansion through the muscles of your neck that are stretching right now. And then maybe you'll change your gaze to look down towards your hip on that same side. And ease your way back to center, unwind that arm, give me 3 slow shoulder circles on this side. Oh, wow, look at that. Time has flown by. I'm going to sneak in one last breathing exercise before we are done for today. So get comfy, close your eyes if you like. We're going to go back to just the focus on the belly breathing. So Maybe as you take your first few breaths in and out with your eyes closed here, you just do a little bit of a body scan and see how you feel. If there's any tight muscles that need a little extra attention after we're finished class today, a little extra time for a stretch, or if there's something you need to change for next time. And then you can start to focus your breathing to your belly. So a big breath in, filling your belly up with air, and an equally big breath out to squeeze all the air out. A big breath in. And then your core muscles helping belly button towards the backbone, squeezing out all the air. Let's do 2 more there. Last one. If you've had your eyes closed, you can open your eyes now. And as usual, we'll do our 3 big breaths to end class, starting down low, reaching towards the ceiling. One more here. All right, I'm happy to stay around for a few minutes if you have any questions or just want to chat. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you. Nice to see you. It looks good with that palm tree scene behind you.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks, Julie. I'm having a lot of pain, so it's like I'm like doing what I need to do to keep moving. So thanks.
Well, thanks for joining me today anyway. I hope
Yeah,
it felt
yeah.